Okay, the New Orleans Saints got embarrassed on Monday Night Football, scored 0 points. They were the first team in the NFL to be shut out this year. Definitely not something you want to accomplish. So let's unfortunately take a look at the film and see why the Saints could not score any points. So the Saints came into this game and, like most other games that they've played this season, extremely shorthanded. No Marquez Valdez Scantling, who has, become the number one receiver over the last few weeks without Olave. No Olave, obviously no Rashid Shaheed, no Alvin Kamara. I mean, there no Taysom. I mean, the list just goes on and on and on. Saints offense just extremely limited. And obviously no Derek Carr, right? No starting quarterback. So expectations were low going in. But man, I didn't think I didn't expect them to get shut out, to be quite frank. But let's look at the film. So this is the very first passing snap of the game for the Saints. And I mean, right away you can tell what kind of game it was going to be. Oh, and by the way, Eric McCoy ended up going out hurt again as well. But this is the very first passing play of the game for the Saints. And immediately the Packers are going to send a blitz, which is going to be picked up well here at the bottom by Fuaga. He actually takes the defender and kind of blocks him into the blitzing defender and kind of blocks both of them. And that's such a nice job. But unfortunately, the right side of the offensive line, just both of them get beat. Cesar Ruiz, Trevor Penning both get beat here. It causes Spencer Rattler to kind of have to scramble. And he does pick up a nice 7-yard gain here on the play. But still, I mean, again, you could kind of tell straightforward what kind of game this was going to be. Trevor Penning over here, pay attention to him first. He's just way too flat and way too slow in his set. So you kind of see this defensive end. He's not really tight to him or anything. He's a little wide, right? So we need to be taking more of a vertical set. And you could see here Penning crossing his feet. That's not something you want to do as an offensive lineman. And you can see the edge rusher beats him around the edge quickly with the rip, forces Rattler up the pocket. And I mean, Cesar Ruiz, he just gets beat straight up by Kenny Clark. Kenny Clark, one of the better three techniques in the league. So it's not, a huge surprise to see. But I mean, on the first passing play of the game, man, boom, hand swiped. Kenny Clark wins inside. Again, Rattler just has to run for his life here and picks up a nice gain. All right, here we go. Third down. First big third down of the game. Obvious passing situation. Third down and 7, I believe. Saints go empty. And the Packers, they're going to drop an extra guy into the coverage. So they're going to have 8 guys total back. They're trying to get Spencer Rattler to make a read. And they're going to get like the little corner here, and then they're going to get kind of an in route here from Kevin Austin Jr. You're going to have this, and then a guy on the backside just kind of, waiting around. So he's looking down here, right? Looking down here to the bottom of your screen. He's trying to get Kevin Austin Jr. on this end breaker, but I think Troy Aikman alluded to what happened on this play last night kind of nicely. It looks like Spencer Rattler maybe was expecting Austin to settle down more in this zone because it looks like the route was coming straight into this defender right here. And Spencer Rattler just kind of, rifles this thing in there and it goes over Kevin Austin Jr.'s head. So you can see right here, Rattler kind of sees this defender settling in there. He knows Austin's going to be on this end breaker, so he's kind of expecting him to settle it down right here. At least that's what I think, right? Now the throw, not great at all. We got to get a better throw than that, especially on third down and 7. You're already down 7-0 in the game. Let's look at it from the end zone, see what it looks like here. So he's looking that way the entire time. Yeah, he did. It actually did hit his hands, I believe. Let's see. Yeah, maybe a little bit, right? So, maybe just a little miscommunication from the receiver and the rookie quarterback in this situation. But nonetheless, it was a huge third down opportunity missed. All right, next one here. This is a second down and 18. So you're already behind the sticks. We're going to get a little hitch here from Juwan Johnson. We're going to get a little kind of post or in from this receiver. Kind of same thing over here, right? Will and then we got the check down. And before Spencer Rattler even gets to the top of his drop on this play, he already has pressure in his face. I mean, he already has pressure in his face. Trevor Penning gets beat again by Rashawn Gary. I mean, look at that. Let's see. He's at the top of his drop now, and he's already got a guy in his face, right? Probably makes this throw to Juwan Johnson, make it, a little shorter of a third down, right? Like I said, it was second down and 18. Just looking to pick up any type of yards you can here to make third down at least a little bit more manager, right? But he can't, right? He has to scramble out because, again, immediate pressure in his face, and he has to scramble. Let's take a look at it from the end zone view. Motion over, snap, take our drop, 1, 2, 3, pressure in our face. I mean, that quick, right? And once again, something I've talked about all year with Trevor Penning if you're a subscriber on my YouTube channel, or if you follow me on Twitter, something I've talked about a lot with him is his main problem is he is late with his hands. He allows defenders to get into his chest and drive him back. This guy's career, I'm not trying to be over exaggerate here, but his career in the future is going to depend on whether he can fix this issue this offseason or not. If he can work on this offseason. Notice how he is late with his hands and he allows the defender to land first, right? Defender lands in his chest. Pinning is late with his hands, and that's why they land outside the frame. I mean, you get in this situation against a good edge rusher like Rashawn Gary, you're going to lose every single time. And again, this is something that happens every week for Pinning. He's just a tick too late with his hands. And, that causes the pressure on Spencer Rattler. All right, so now it is 3rd down and 16. And at this point, if you're Spencer Rattler, you're just trying to get a completion, right? You're just trying to make something happen, get the ball out, get a completion, and hopefully that sets you up with a little momentum for the next drive. But, Packers, they're just playing cover 2, right? That's all they're doing. They're playing old regular cover 2. You're going to have a flat defender, hook, middle, hook, deep, deep. That's all you got, right? And the Saints draw up a little high-low over here, a little sail. Down here, you're going to get a flat. You're going to get a flat from the running back, I believe it is, and then you're going to get a deep corner, right? Typical cover 2 beater. It puts this defender in conflict. You're going to read him high-low. And Rattler, again, a little bit of pressure off of that right side. He has to step up. I'd like to see him hang in there a little longer and hit this deep corner. It would have picked up a first down, right? Pocket, yes, it's not pretty, but he does a nice job of stepping up right there because Penning gets beat again. Does a nice job of stepping up. But if he could just be a tad more patient, maybe rip this thing out here with a little bit of anticipation, they could have picked up the first down. But again, the guy's been, under pressure so far. The game's not going well. You're already down multiple points. I don't blame him for just taking what he could get in this situation. But let's take a look at it from the end zone view to see what we got again. Okay, snap 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He kind of sped that one up. Steps up. See, he could have kind of waited or stepped up in the pocket, been a little bit more patient, and ripped this thing to that deep corner. But again, he's just taking what he can get at this point. Take a look at the pressure over there on the right side. This time, Penning just gets beat to a spot. Gets beat around the edge. I mean, let's see. Yeah. So Penning, like I say, gets beat to his point. Right, he ends up being able to run around the corner. Spencer again does a nice job stepping up, but that's kind of a really short corner. Let's see the depth in the pocket here. About 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, it's about 9 yards in the pocket. That's kind of a short corner for Gary to turn. You'd like to see Spencer step up maybe a little quicker, just to not have any chance of getting a piece of it. But again, Trevor Penning has to do a better job than that, right? But nonetheless, he takes what he can get. Can't blame him. And here we go. Probably his best throw of the night. This is on, I believe it's second or 3rd down. I can't remember. But nonetheless, the Packers are going to be cover 3, right? And again, they're going to drop a defensive lineman out, and they're going to put 8 into coverage, and they're going to make Spencer Rattler beat them. They're going to make him make a read, and he does it, right? Now, it's debatable. Is it the right read? Maybe not, right? But it is a heck of a throw. I mean, if you throw this literally anywhere else, it's intercepted either from the front or from the back. You underthrow it, it's picked. You overthrow it, it's probably intercepted by the safety. So Rattler, again, down multiple points, just taking what chance he can and ripping that thing over the middle, right over the top of the defender. Easily his best throw of the night to the tight end, Foster Moreau there. So, on a night of some really, really low lights, that was a highlight there for you. All right, next play here. This one, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what was going on here. Spencer Rattler looks like he was going for the running back here on kind of the angle route, right? Going against the linebacker. Throws an inaccurate pass and it tips it, and Jawan Johnson, has a chance at the tip but doesn't catch it, right? And this is just a bad throw from Rattler, right? This is, if he puts this on the money, running back catches it, he can keep running, right? It's just a bad throw, and there's no other way to put it. And you can kind of tell here from when he throws it. Look how open his body is, right? Look at where his front toe is facing. His front toe is facing this way, right? And guess where the ball goes? Behind the receiver. And really, there's no reason for him to do this. There was no pressure on him. he could stand in there, plant his foot, and deliver the throw with a good, solid foundational base. It's just bad mechanics from Spencer Rattler on here from this play, and it shows, right? Again, there's no reason for us to open our hips here to throw this angle route to the running back. And again, when you do it, you kind of hop back and you just try to look cool for no reason, if that makes sense. Kind of there's just no point in him doing this. Just standing there like a quarterback and hit the angle route, right? And you throw an accurate pass and you'd able to hit to your running back and he would able to get some yards after the catch probably, right? But again, no reason for him to contort his lower body like this because it just makes for an inaccurate pass. Okay, see if we can see a little bit better from this view here. Okay, so the drop is fine. Like right there. There's no reason for us to open our hips to throw this ball. And the fact, how did it it landed almost right. Juwan had it. Look, he had it. And then he dropped it. Oh well. All right, this one here, second down. Looks like we're going to be looking for Juwan on the short post, right? And he's going to be open. He's going to beat the linebacker here on his route. But Spencer Rattler, I think, just kind of rushes through things and doesn't trust it. He's, been pressured all night and he kind of feels it from both edges. And he just kind of steps up and scrambles when he could have hit his open tight end. So let's press play. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-step drop. And you can see initially looks like pressure off the edges, but actually both tackles do a solid enough job of running him up around the curve there. And you can see like the drop. As a quarterback, you want the drop to be around 9 yards in the pocket, right? So if you look at the ball is being snapped here, right? So we got 5 yards. Spencer Rattler's back foot hits at 10 yards, right? That's a pretty deep drop. You really can't expect tackles to block any further depth than that. And like I said, Spencer Rattler back foot hits. He does a nice job of stepping up initially, and you can see both tackles again do a decent enough job of running those guys around the edges. And anytime you get two defensive ends meeting each other right there, that's usually a good sign because the tackles set the depth properly. But instead of stepping up, right, he kind of just panics. See, and you can see Joanna's open. We need to hit this. We could throw this right now off of our back foot. But if you need to take a hitch, you can take a hitch. Take a hitch and throw it. He's still open. Take another hitch, throw it. He's still open. Another, he's still open, right? But instead of that, he just feels the pressure and he just decides to pull the ball and take off running, right? Not ideal, but under the circumstances, what can you do? Next play here, this is a nice job, a nice throw from Spencer Rattler with pressure kind of in his face. So you're going to get kind of like an inverted cover 2 over here. This guy's going to come play the flat. This guy's going to drop deep, and then you're going to get like a deep corner and then kind of a flat option underneath to pull this flat defender down. And again, Rattler pressure in his face. Packers bring a blitz, right? Boom, he's waiting for it. He's making sure that he sees this defender right here bite on the flat route before he lets this thing go. So he's waiting. He sees him bite on it. He lets it rip with pressure in his face. That's a long throw from the far hash all the way to the sideline, and it gets there, and a nice completion, fumbles, but it was out of bounds. And at this point, I don't think that Darren Rizzi realized that the clock would not stop, and they wasted a ton of time and ended up coming away with no points on the board, which was a bit ridiculous after this nice play. Then here on this play, Spencer Rattler makes the fatal mistake of taking a sack, knocking you out of field goal range, and you got to waste a timeout. I mean, this was just a mistake that cannot happen. You're right. It's pretty clear he's looking for the deep corner, Dante Pettis, right? He's looking left. He wants to throw this thing, but he notices it's probably not open, right? But we got to get this thing a check down. We got to check this thing down. You got 3 options down here, man. See it's not open, get your eyes back down and hit a lower option. You just cannot take a sack here whatsoever. Brutal spot to take a sack in there from Spencer Rattler. I mean, let's take a look at it from his point of view in the end zone here. So there you see it. Packers run a little twist up front. They don't pass it off. Saints don't. He takes the sack. That just can't happen. Next play here, this one, Rattler has to stand in this pocket, climb the pocket, and hit this wide open receiver. So we're going to get verticals here against cover 3, and the seam is going to come wide open. And like I said, the pocket, it gets a little tight, but Rattler, you got to climb this thing, right? So let's take it back from the jump. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-step drop. Let's hitch. Let's hitch into the pocket and rip this thing. This is a wide open vertical in the middle of the field that we have got to throw. Now he ends up getting out of there, right? Again, because it was a clean pocket. So he steps up, scrambles out of there, and hits the running back with a little flip pass. Bloop. And he gets, a decent amount of yards. But again, this is one that we just got to play quarterback. We got to sit back there, play quarterback, and hit the seam. So let's hitch. We could throw that thing now. And I mean, that is wide freaking open. And I bet it looks even more open from the end zone view when we get to it here. Okay, let's see what we got. Rattler. Gonna send Kendre Miller out. Okay. Yeah, I mean, look at that pocket. That is a beautiful pocket. Right? He does the correct thing in stepping up. We don't have to exactly take off though. Like why are we taking off, man? Just step up, hitch up into the pocket, and hit the wide open seam. I mean, you can even see him up here, wide open. Let's see. Yeah, just another rookie mistake from Spencer Rattler. Next play here, this is a third down that Rattler scrambles for, and he picks it up, but there was a holding call, so it comes back. And I'm not really sure I know what we were trying to get accomplished here on this play call, right? Somebody has to have done the right thing, or the wrong thing, excuse me. So it looks like you're going to just get a little sit down, little hitch from the tight end. You're going to get Kevin Austin Jr. running a post behind it. You're going to get Kendre Miller kind of coming out here, kind of like getting right in the tight end's way and then running a wheel. So post wheel is my guess. And I'm thinking 3rd down and 3. Probably the read is to hit the tight end off the rip. But it's just super jumbled up, right? You'll see what I mean here. So let's press play. 1, 2, 3. Quick 3-step drop. It looks like that's what the play was for, or the primary read was. But again, like, look at Kendre Miller. Like, you can't convince me this is the correct spacing or call on this play. Like, you just can't convince me. Let me back it up a little bit. Okay. Yeah, it just can't be, because to me, this is a quick 3-step drop. It's meant to hit Moreau right as he sits down at his route. And of course, Rattler can't do that if Kendre Miller is right in the guy's way. So it looks like Rattler looks that way initially, right? He's looking that way, and he sees it kind of be jumbled up here, and he gets his eyes back and he scrambles, which in this case was the correct thing to do because everything else was plastered in the Packers against the Packers man coverage. But unfortunately, it came back from a holding call. Next play here, this is really nice from Spencer Rattler. This is quarterback play right here. So the Packers, they're going to show blitz, right? They're going to run a simulated pressure. They're going to back out of it. They're going to drop a defensive lineman. They're only going to end up rushing 4, right? Spencer Rattler, this is what I like to see. Now, granted, the protection was actually nice, right? Lovely how those two correlate, right? The protection's finally good. Rattler can actually sit in the pocket and make a play. Now, he does get hit at the end, but it held up for long enough. So, again, he's just hitting Juwan Johnson on this deep corner here, on this corner, right? That's it. That's simple. You give him the protection. He can actually sit there, scan, deliver the ball, beautiful pass to the tight end to pick up the first down. That's what I like to see. Let's look at it from his point of view again. So we can look at the protection versus the sim pressure from the Packers. Okay. Picked up really nicely from the Saints. Boom. Love it. Amazing what a quarterback can do when you actually give him the protection to look at the field for more than half a second. All right, here we go. 3rd and 1,000,000. This time, Spencer Rattler feels the pressure again. From the inside, takes off, jump pass, zips it. Beautiful, right? Not much else to say. That's a play you got to have a really talented arm to make. I mean, you're midair letting that thing rip. Beautiful stuff. But unfortunately, on the very next play, he threw a pick. And then here is the interception. So what they're trying to do is they're just trying to run what's called a Y leak. So they're going to hard play action left, okay? And then Rattler is going to boot out to the right. And normally when you see that, what do you see? You see some crossers, a flat, and usually like a deep option, right? But what the Saints do, They fake like they're doing that, but they're trying to leak Foster Moreau out here and up the sideline, right? And a lot of times it works, but this time the Packers, they're playing deep. The defender recognizes it and it's picked off. It's really that simple. Rattler, again, so you see the tight end here leaking out here. I mean, if you're going to throw this thing, you got to throw it more. You got to just, first of all, you shouldn't throw it at all when you see the coverage. But if you are going to throw it, you got to put it more towards the sidelines where the defender, essentially doesn't have a chance at all. And if it is going to be caught, it's going to be on a spectacular catch by the tight end. So if we're going to throw this thing, throw it like in this area, right? But again, when you see the deep defender, you shouldn't throw it at all. You should only throw this if Foster Moreau is the only guy back here. So we need to get off that and maybe throw it away or see if you can hit a check down over here to the running back, something. But we can't make this throw, especially after we made that spectacular jump pass on the play before. So it's picked off. It is what it is. All right, next play here. This is a 3rd down and 8. We're going to get a little through route. We're going to get a whip. Okay, and then we're going to get kind of a deep deep corner-ish route, right? So this is not bad from Spencer Rattler. He's just way too deep in the pocket, and it gets the ball knocked down, right? So again, that's the route concept you have. You're in empty, 3rd down. Okay, notice where the ball is, right? About right here. So let's take a look at how far Rattler drops back. His foot is at the 11.5-yard mark, right? That is an extremely deep pocket. You can't be this deep in the pocket and expect your tackles to hold up that far back, right? Now, granted, Fuaga probably gets beat around the edge here, right? Pinning, sort of as well. But again, we're setting way too deep in the pocket. It needs to be about right. Back foot needs to be about right here at this yard marker right here, at this hash mark. Okay. So about a yard and a half further up. Now, granted, like I said, the tackles, they both probably get beat here anyway. And it kind of affects the throw here from Rattler. It ends up getting batted, I believe. It looks like he was going for this whip right here that would have probably not picked up a first down, but would have definitely put him in a little bit better position. So, this is just one of them situations where it's kind of just like a perfect storm of things going wrong. Quarterback a little too deep in the pocket. Tackles probably get beat around the edge a little quicker than they should have, and the ball gets batted down. Okay, this is funny. This play perfectly sums up the Saints season, right? 3rd down and 7. Just take a look at Mason Tipton here and Juwan Johnson. 3rd down and 7. I mean, come on. This play, and then of course pressure on the edge. Spencer Rattler scrambles. It's in the dirt. Quarterback's on the ground. This play just captures the mess that the Saints season has been. I mean, come on. I don't know. Maybe Mason Tipton is a double agent. Is he on the Packers payroll? I don't know. But I don't know. I just thought I'd throw that in there because that is absolutely hilarious. So that's going to do it for the end of the video, man. This was a brutal game to watch live. It was a brutal game to watch back. But as always, I appreciate you guys tuning in here. Peace.